Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, hi royalty, how are you doing? Let's just say this is a gray sheep episode. I have not done a gray sheep in a really long time. A lot of politics, but at the same time, the politics have been making me think a lot while writing, while creating. And I love being a creative, but sometimes the creative brings me back to really dark and hard days. Very dark. So it's like the only thing that got me through was just a little glimmer of hope. And recently, one of my older sisters told me that while growing up, she always saw a twinkle in my eye. And well, okay, first grab something to sip. Yeah, grab that petty tea, grab something to nibble on. And oh, I gotta go through. I know a lot of people have not watched since the beginning of my episodes. Just know that I have been spilling all of my tea, literally, about disability life and about not being diagnosed and the trauma, the ABUSE that I had to live through for over 30 years, verbal and physical. And it's like, with this channel, I started as a podcast, and I've said the story over a year ago, but I guess I have to realize people aren't going to go back and listen to past episodes. But at first, it was only for the ears, and sometimes I would attach different with the same name and everything, but with each channel, I would add some of the links of my proof and evidence. But it's like with having a disability, you have to pay for a membership in order to keep all of your episodes up. And then with the marketing and just everything, having a newly diagnosed disability and with all the stresses, trying to write my books, trying to be creative, and I'm still saving up so I can get my books off of Amazon and onto other platforms so that I can finally content. Like my illustrator's like, girl, like, what's going on? What you doing? What's going on? Look, I know you've got more work, and I have so much work for her, but it's just like with trying to create the other streams of income so that I will have more money coming in so that I can take care of not only my life but then also my goals, my dreams, and things that everyone told me I would never be able to do. And so, like with the podcast, it's like that costs money. And and at the same time, I it was going to break my heart if I saw, like, cuz I paid for a small package of it, but part of me was just like, no, I'm a talker. This, like, I couldn't find a package that fit me and fit my funds or my budget. And so I decided, you know what? I was I was scared to go on YouTube because of dating trauma and ABUSC, men telling me, "Oh, you're too white, you're too proper, and why do you talk like that? And why is your skin so light? And oh, you got this wig on, or sew in, or why don't you have your real hair out? But then when I have my real hair out, oh, what's a mixed girl doing with hair like that? And or it's like, oh, you look that feminine, you're not supposed to try to own your own business. What do you think you're doing? A woman like you, it's like you need to stay at home, be feminine, enjoy your femininity and things that. But then they don't know, like, okay, this is another thing. I've covered this in other episodes. I've shown you guys the definition of feminine, femininity. Look it up. It does not mean what you think it is. When men tell me this, it's just really aggravating because I'm like, you are so poorly educated and naive and just bluntly stupid. Because But anyway, I am kind of doing this episode so that you can just basically, I am a disappointment. This gray sheep it's probably going to be a two-parter. You know how I am. You know, my channel is as messy as my life. So this is probably going to be a two-parter. But I am my parents' disappointment. I am not perfect. And one reason why I do the channel the way I do is I enjoy the imperfection. It's like some people, like one person talked about, well, coming from a design perspective, and I didn't ask for her permission, I didn't ask her perspective, opinion, because again, like if you don't listen to other episodes and you don't understand why I created it the way that I did, it's supposed to just be for listening. And with YouTube, I didn't want to show my face because of all of the terrible things that people have said about me. Either I'm too fat or too light skinned, or I talk too white, or I'm too proper. And it's like, since you're a black woman, no one's going to care what you have to say. Since you have a disability, you're just an R word. You're just some like CRIPPLE, and just like the words that the emotional, the verbal. Because when people say, sticks and stones may break your bones, but like when they tell their kids that crap, it's garbage. Because words are one of the main reasons people have to go for therapy. Yes, bruises heal, and sometimes, like most of the time, they go away. But the words stay in your mind. They stay in your memory. Some of the most, like, I had some of the worst ABUSC. Well, no, okay. I know of people who have had it, the physical, worse than me. But when your doctors say that you're walking like that because you are a liar, you want attention, and you just want to be looked at. So then you get home, you get spanked until, like, every time your mother yells at you, why do you walk like that? And you say, I don't know, because you don't know. And then she says she's gonna hit you until you say why. Yeah, I'm that disappointment. I was that mistake because, yeah, my mother said I was a mistake. So I feel like this channel allows me the freedom so that I can at least just say my words. It's like it was supposed to only be a podcast. It was only supposed to be a podcast, but with my budget, I couldn't afford, because I didn't want to risk my words, my truth, my opinions, my research, my stories. Because right now I still have my little kids podcast up too, and I'm going to have to redo them. I have the writing, I have the documents, thank goodness, but I have my Fairy Dog Mother series, and I haven't continued that because trying to finally, like, well, doing an episode on here every day, writing the novel, working on my other children's books, and then the greeting cards and the candles. And it's like I'm trying to work, and some people are like, well, don't do everything, just do one thing at one time. Right. Well, I'm 20 years too, like, I don't want to say too late, but years ago, if you guys haven't listened to my stories, you wouldn't know. When I wanted to start my own business, when I wanted to write my books, for both reasons, my mother said she was going to throw me out the house. And not only that, she said I would have to watch her tear up my stuff and throw it. She said she would not allow me to take my stuff with me, that she would throw it out. Even if I paid for it, she said she would not let me near it. So I had to be a good girl. And do you know how frustrating that is? Because then she put God into it. Because she was like, since I don't want you to do this, you have to obey me because that's what God would do. So when people tell me Christians don't traumatize, religion, no, that's not traumatizing. You're just lying. You're making it up. I want to tell them what they can kiss. Not mine. I don't want them touching me. I don't want them 5 feet from me. I don't want them in the same room from me. Okay, babies. Yeah. But this channel allows me to be my messy, honest, sometimes literary, poetic, nerdy, researching self. And at the same time, yes, usually, like when it comes to projects, usually I am into every detail. Everyone tells me, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is amazing. This is like," but I have worked on some projects and published some items and taken hours, but then I don't have enough money to market them. And or when I tell my friends, they tell me, "This is so amazing. This looks professional. I would have never imagined this is self-published or that self-made or human-made or whatever, blah blah blah." But do they want to buy it? No, they tell me that I am obligated to give them a free copy. And then once they get their free copy, like, oh, then you know what? I'll tell my friends to get it if you give me a free copy. But then if I don't give them a free copy, then they no longer want to talk to me because they say, "Oh, you must think you're better than me." It's like, "What?" It's called a business. I'm trying to start a business and you want me to give everything that I've worked hard for. And then when companies don't want to hire me because they see me walk, or they have the nerve, some like they ask me really illegal questions, and some people are like, "How do you know that?" Because, well, my one of my minors is in business, so I took HR that time, and then I have my MBA in again business, or my MBA because I have an MA and an MBA, and my MBA, yeah, it's like I took HR again, so I know a lot about the questions that you're allowed to ask and you're not allowed to ask, and asking people, are you going to get surgery so you can work on that walk? Because you really don't want to walk around in here like that. And, or it's like our clients are going to be distracted because you walk like that. And, or is that permanent? Why do you decide to walk like that? What are you prescribed, or what is your diagnosis? What's going on with you? It's like you're not going to walk like that every day. Yeah. Do your parents know that you walk like that? Oh, well, you don't want to work for this company because the parking lot is so far from here, or we only have stairs, we don't have an elevator. And or well, our boss's grandmother, she walks like you, and that's really depressing to him. Yeah, and I have so many more examples, but I'm just going down memory lane. And so sometimes it just gets so frustrating where I just want to let my voice out and I want to just speak the way I want to speak. And some people are like, well, hire someone on Fiverr. I'm not saying all the people on Fiverr are terrible because I have one editor that I found that once I finish two or three more of my children's stories, I am going to try to ask her to, well, I need someone to do like two different edits. So with one of the edits, I want her to do it because I hired another person and yeah, anyway, but I don't have the money to, because I got scammed when I first started this YouTube channel. I hired someone to market my channel so that I can focus on creating the episodes each day and trying to get everything together and stuff, and then monetize so that I can then use that money for my children's books, use that money for the candles and the greeting cards, and also just try to get my life together, get the business together, get my dreams together, get everything that my mother said that she was going to throw me out the house and she would never want to see me, talk to me, or have anything to do with me if I tried, and or that she was going to burn. Like, yeah, this is why if you haven't been listening to my stories, it's like it was so many years ago, but I had stories hidden under the bathroom sink because she used to go in my room and try to find my notebooks, and she would throw away and tear up some of my stories that I worked hours on. And after she passed away, I think it was like a month or two later, I remember doing something on my computer, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh my gosh, I have like, and I ran and got them, and I hugged them. It's like, because I was like, they could finally be free. I could finally have my stories out. And then with the doctors, after I couldn't walk anymore, and yeah, let's just say going into that dark room, or well, emotionally, that's a dark room in my mind where It's still traumatizing, but when a doctor says, maybe you have cancer, something like, oh my God. Doctors, you need to be careful what you say and how you say it to your patients. And also, if you have a hypothesis, maybe first try to do some tests before you do that, especially when it ended up being that your patient was born with a disability. Even though, like, doctors and then their notes would say she's a liar and she's going to make stuff up, but she doesn't really have the pain, she just wants attention. Her mother says to ignore her and things like that. Maybe you should try a test. Maybe you need to see if these doctors were wrong. Because guess what? Every single one of these doctors were wrong. And this is one reason I talk about the apple cider vinegar like film, because I understand the characters when, especially like when it comes to the health, when it comes to the trust of docters, because I do not trust doctors as a whole. I don't. One of the things I really want to get to do once I can finally get everything together is like a way to go into medical schools for a day and talk to them and talk about the nightmare that I had to face and how doctors ignored me until it felt like too late, and it still feels like too late, and they're part of the reason I need therapy more than anything. It's like, watch the episode with George Cirilli. Oh, I talk about him, I drag him. Oh, and I can drag him even more too, because when he, oh, but anyway anyway I am a disappointment. I am the gray sheep of the family. Everything I wanted to do, I was told I couldn't do. I wasn't smart enough to do. I would never be able to do. I wasn't good enough to do. And that is like, why are you trying to do this? Are you trying to outdo your sister? But you're never going to outdo your sister because she's a smart one. She's a talented one. She's the amazing one. She's the one that she's the perfect one. Everyone wants to brag about her. Everyone wants to say her name all the time. Everyone just calls you her sister. Everyone just says you're the one that that smiles all the time. But if you smile all the time, that just means something's wrong with you. Why would you want to smile all the time? Something must be wrong, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so, yes, I wanted the podcast. And, but then when I realized, like, as a woman with a disability, a newly died, like, I started this, like, right near the end of COVID. It's like I wasn't diagnosed until the middle beginning of COVID. So just imagine, I couldn't walk anymore. And then I had to have surgery. And then after that, doctors kind of realized something must be wrong, but they're like, but hold up. She's just a liar. What can be wrong? And then they find out, no, it's in her DNA. Oops, our bad. We're sorry, but we're not sorry. We're not going to say we're sorry. We're just going to say we're doctors. We only guess. It's like going through all of that trauma in my head and all the memories of my mother and how she died before I could show her and prove to her that all of the spankings, all of the punishments, all of the awful, cruel, terrible things she said to me, even when she called me a mistake, she said the only reason why I am here is because of the other one. Don't you want to hear that? So, I know as someone with a disability, there must be others like me. And I hope there's not, but I know, it's like, I hear other people talk about their diagnosis and how for some of them it was really late, how some of the doctors were awful, terrible, cruel people, how some of the doctors don't take them seriously and they mistreat them. And also the parents, how the parents are just, oh, you're just disabled, whatever. I don't care. Like, they act like they just don't care about them, and some of them don't care. And that's pathetic and terrible. And a lot of the times, these are Christian parents. Yeah, my mother was a Christian. Yeah, but they want me to pray it away. The people at the church are like, because, yeah, it's like with my mother, she was like, well, if you're not lying about it, pray it away. If it doesn't go away, that means you're not working on it hard enough. You didn't pray hard enough. You didn't say the right scriptures. If you say the right scriptures, then it's all just going to go away. But if not, it's because either you're a liar, you've done terrible things. It's going to be your fault. It is your fault. How would you feel if that's all you heard all of your life? And so this channel just kind of turned into a way for me to express myself. And again, it was supposed to be a podcast. I thought it was just going to be a podcast. And then when they said with the membership, and then after I think 30 to 90 days, old episodes are going to go away and they're going to limit me to only a certain amount of words or minutes or whatever each month. I was just like, I can't, like, that it doesn't fit me. And I used to be an extrovert, but now with my disability and the stupid, ignorant, naive, like poorly educated things people say, I've kind of turned into a turtle. It's like I kind of hide face a lot more than I used to, and I hate it. I hate it. So this is kind of my way where I can talk and speak and poke my head out without having my full face out, because a lot of people don't have good intentions for me. They don't care about me. They're going to just be mean to me. And at the same time, when it comes to politics, when it comes to reality and life and facts, I'm a nerd. I'm a sapiosexual. It's like, yeah, and so I'm going to tell you the truth any day, every day, all day. And it's like, you're going to take it as my opinion. I don't care. It's like, I'm going to give you my life stories and I'm going to show you screenshots. It's like I've said, so, like my dating nightmare episodes, you will see the terrible messages men send me. And it's because of the standards I have. But with those standards, it's really funny because all of those standards are things that men hate about me. But they hate those qualities because a lot of times they're not, other than the political one, they're not able or capable of achieving a lot of the things on on my list. And am I proud of it? Half and half. I don't know. It's like part of me. It's like it's not like I'm happy that I was able to accomplish all of those things, but at the same time, I know I'm not perfect, and I'm happy I'm not perfect. But and at the same, when my mother used to tell me, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever gonna want you, love you, or marry you. And so much of my life, I was just desperate to find some kind of love. I was desperate to just find some kind of love, to the point where I was like, I just need to love myself. So this YouTube episode channel is like I express myself every day out of love because I wasn't really allowed that love. I wasn't allowed to accept myself as myself. I always had to appease everybody by hiding behind another individual or copying another individual. But everyone's like, well, she's just a copycat, or she's just doing this because she's doing it. Even though I try to go on my own path, but literally threatened if I went down that path. And I think that's one reason why, with a lot of my main characters, I give them their freedom. They go down their path. They go down the path that their parents wouldn't allow or didn't approve of, because I wasn't given that choice. And each one has a disability. Each one's a person of color or black. And because I want I want my readers to see black women who are going after what they want to go after. I want them to see them go through their goals and the struggles and the challenges and everything. But the beauty and the darkness and the learning and the stages. So I don't know. It's just, I know some people are not going to like my designs, but I've sent this over like a year and a half, like almost 2 years. Yeah, I think it's been 2 years now. That yeah, I didn't want just one screen of just me talking and everything. And I know, like I did learn because I watched a lot of channels or episodes about people talking about what YouTube likes, what they don't like, and stuff. And they said they like changes of scenes. And so I was like, okay, I was like, I'll change the scenes. And oh, when I change the scenes, I can, with some of my episodes, I can put links of articles and different like items because people need to read more and they need to look at honest truth and things like that. So, but I didn't. I know a lot of people aren't gonna like the visual. I try to make them, I try to at least find the shots that have a theme in it and or even some with hidden jokes because like a lot of the times when I mention Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have a beetle and some kind of juice on the screen. So, but it's like if you haven't caught that, and so yeah, with some episodes there are hidden jokes, and it's like if you catch it, you catch it, and if you don't, it's okay because it's more for listening anyway. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be. And if you don't like me, okay. And I'll like maybe I'll just put the clips with my books at the beginning of the episodes, maybe the before, the middle, and the end, because I want to just show the world as much as possible that this disability should not be hidden. It's like we were not born a mistake. Like some people try to say we were a mistake. So a lot of Republicans say that they want to get rid of us. Yeah, it's like, and that's a funny thing. They say all lives matter, but they want to get rid of people with disabilities, and they want to figure out the cures and everything about people with, like. And then there is that older millennial guy. Oh, he disgusts me. But he literally said that he would want to throw all disabled people over a mountain, off a mountain. And so many Republicans were cheering him on and saying, "Yeah, let's do that. Let's pure like have a pure like country. Let's get rid of all the mistakes." And I just know that's why I need to keep talking. I need to keep, you know, and some people say that that once guy who passed away, you took him out of context. We didn't take him out of context. When people keep telling me that I'm not able because I'm a black woman, I'm not smart enough, or I can only get things because I'm a black woman, and then turn around, they watch and they follow him. No, we did not take him out of context. We know exactly what we're talking about. He created a following that put down black women, that put down black women. And so I need to be the voice out there to show black women, no, you can do your goals and you will conquer. Don't give up, keep going. Don't let these people stop you. Your skin color does not say who you are or what you're capable of. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.